This week, Prime Video will debut the second season of Reacher, the hit television series that returned last year. Production on Season 3 of Reacher has already begun, and Amazon announced the renewal of the show for a third season ahead of schedule, well before the new season premiered. Jack Reacher, Alan Ritchson, the unstoppable vigilante justice machine, returns for Season 2 of Reacher with the mission of uncovering a conspiracy surrounding the savage deaths of his fellow soldiers from his time in the United States Army. A nice opportunity to brush up on Reacher before diving into Season 2 has passed, since the first season premiered on Prime Video almost 2 years ago in February 2022. Jack Reacher, a former military police officer, becomes entangled in a murder plot involving crooked politicians, unscrupulous businesspeople, and other corrupt officials, after his false arrest for a murder he did not commit. He is left to his own devices to deduce the events unfolding in Margrave, Georgia. Based on Lee Child's worldwide bestseller The Killing Floor, the first season of Reacher is set in a haunted house. Former United States Army MP officer Jack Reacher makes an impulsive visit to the remote Georgia town of Margrave at the start of the first season of Reacher after remembering from his brother that blues singer Blind Blake passed away there. Reacher has been a nomad drifter since he left the service, living off of nothing more than his clothing and a toothbrush. He simply shops at thrift stores for fresh threads whenever he wants new clothing. He uses his military pension to cover his living expenses, which include staying at inexpensive motels. Since Reacher has spent so much of his life thus far surrounded by the military, he considers his present situation to be one of genuine independence. The Margrave Sheriff's Department arrests Reacher on suspicion of murder after he stops in Georgia, disrupting his meager existence. The accusation that Joe Reacher, Christopher Russell, Reacher's older brother and a deceased agent for the Homeland Security, was murdered is something that Reacher is blissfully unaware of. The investigating detective, Oscar Finley, played by Malcolm Goodwin, has his suspicions about Reacher, the former soldier, and sends him to the county jail for a week. Paul Hubble, played by Mark Bendavid, a mild-mannered accountant and family guy, falsely confesses to the murder. In spite of being ordered to solitary confinement, a corrupt guard accidentally places Reacher and Hubble with the rest of the inmates after their sentencing. While incarcerated, Reacher foils a plot to kill him and Paul using his extraordinary strength and military experience. Deputy Roscoe Conklin, Willa Fitzgerald, who is captivated by Reacher and has faith in his innocence, becomes his friend upon his release. Because Finley thinks Reacher might have further knowledge regarding the murders, he forces Reacher to remain in Margrave. But Joe, Reacher's older brother, is one of the murder victims, as is revealed during a visit to the medical examiner's office. Reacher, consumed by vengeance, resolves to remain in Margrave in his pursuit of justice for his brother's murder.